Today we're getting into the latest Tesla news, including updates to Model Y production, Cybertruck production updates, Tesla HVAC systems, the sold-out Model Y, Tesla advertising, and more. So let's get into it, and a special thanks to SetApp for sponsoring this video. First up today, a Tesla HVAC, or heating, ventilation, and air conditioning system, is something Elon Musk has talked about and teased for a while now. Tesla primarily makes vehicles, but a big part of vehicles is the air system. For a while now, the Model S and Model X have included a HEPA filtration system that Tesla calls bioweapon defense mode. Back in 2016, Tesla said, quote, "In less than 2 minutes, the HEPA filtration system had scrubbed the air in Model X, bringing pollution levels from an extremely dangerous 1,000 to levels so low as to be undetectable below the noise floor by our instruments, allowing us to remove our gas masks and breathe fresh air while sitting inside a bubble of pollution." Tesla has experience with small-scale air systems in their vehicles, and back in 2020, Elon Musk said, quote, "We will make super efficient home HVAC with HEPA filters one day." This has led to lots of speculation as to when Tesla would make this system, but Elon Musk responded to a recent tweet talking about the Model S's new and improved quiet interior. Inside, all you really hear is the HVAC system, and Elon replied saying, quote, "New HVAC firmware coming soon that will make it quieter." This is very classic Tesla, where a feature that seems impossible to fix or change in software is able to do so. They have done this before with performance upgrades and more, but after this tweet, Elon responded to someone asking about a home HVAC system. Elon said, quote, "Oh man, home HVAC that is super energy efficient, quiet, and purifies the air would be great. We developed it for the car, but it can be scaled up for home use. Most people have no idea just how good the Tesla air purification system is, literally 10 times better than any other car. Tesla's air purification systems are top-notch, but I'm not sure we have proof at this point that they are literally 10 times better than any other car, in classic Elon Musk fashion. However, it points to the fact that most people don't know much about Tesla. I frequently talk to people who are still shocked to find out that they can go 300 miles or more, because many still think that 100 miles is the limit for electric vehicles. Additionally, most don't know that Tesla makes the safest cars in the world. Tesla does not pay for advertising in the traditional sense. You have never seen a Tesla commercial, and they purposely avoid this to save money and rely on word of mouth. However, lately there has been a lot of bad and inaccurate press about Tesla, and most consumers and even owners don't even know the full details of what their cars actually include. When talking about the HVAC system, Elon finally acknowledged this, saying, quote, "Maybe we should advertise informationally just so people know stuff like this exists." This is always going to be a controversial subject amongst Tesla fans, but I think it would be smart for Tesla to do so. When their cars launch, it's often weeks before we actually know what they include, and for the average customer, there isn't much of a desire to do deep research when Tesla could have provided the information in an advertisement. Maybe they can do that in a different way than everybody else. This doesn't mean anything will happen soon, because Elon's tweets are often just his thought process, but it shows that even Elon is considering it for Tesla. Next, let's talk about the Model Y. When Tesla announced the Model Y back in 2019, many were underwhelmed because it looked nearly identical to the Model 3. The main differences are size and the hatchback. Features-wise, they are nearly identical, but the Model Y has proven to be incredibly popular, as Elon Musk predicted. He said that he expects the Model Y to outsell the Model 3, S, and X combined. That still hasn't happened, but the Model Y has begun outselling the Model 3 in China. This is big since the Model Y is a recent addition to Tesla's Gigafactory Shanghai. Over in the United States, the Model Y is already nearly sold out for Q3, which doesn't start until July. This happened for Q2 inventory, which sold out in May for the Model 3 and Model Y. Before this happened, Elon Musk said, quote, "We've seen a real shift in consumer perspective of electric vehicles, and our demand is the best we've seen. We're used to seeing a reduction in demand in the first quarter, and we saw an increase in demand that exceeded the normal seasonal reduction in demand in Q1. Now it appears that this is continuing into Q3, and particularly for the Model Y. If you go to purchase a Model Y from Tesla's website, your estimated delivery is September. It appears that they do have performance models available, since those say 1 to 10 weeks, but the normal long-range model, with its price all the way up at $52,490, up $3,500 this year so far, is so popular that you can't get one until September. For the Model 3, estimated delivery for standard range and long range is 9 to 13 weeks, so we can see that it is still very popular, but the Model Y seems to be beating it out. This is why Tesla is building 2 new factories to exclusively build the Model Y for the time being. Over at Giga Texas, they will be building the Cybertruck, but the first production line they will operate is the Model Y production line set to begin later this year. About a month ago, we saw a photo of Tesla making the first Model Y megacast at their Gigafactory Texas, which is still under construction. They are planning for this car to utilize their new 4680 battery cells and structural battery pack as detailed at their battery event last year. The megacast is the one shown in the photos at Battery Day, so it should be the first of the next generation Model Y, as Elon Musk likes to call it. It is largely the same vehicle with updated battery tech designed by Tesla that should bring advantages and cost savings. It's a big shift, and a lot is riding on the development and scaling of those battery cells, which they have been prototyping and producing at their Fremont factory over the past year. When Tesla canceled the Plaid Plus Model S, which should have used those cells, this brought up some fears that maybe Tesla isn't on track for 4680 battery cell production to be ready in vehicles, and it could delay Model Y production since it needs them. Anything is possible, and we'll see what happens there, but Tesla is moving quickly with Model Y production at Giga Texas, as the first full Model Y body was spotted in Giga Texas. Not only do these photos show progress for the construction of the factory, but this likely shows progress for Model Y production, with Tesla producing the first Model Y body, not just castings. Technically, this could be any Model Y body put there as an example, but it looks an awful lot like a prototype that is still missing the majority of the vehicle. This is how Tesla will be addressing demand for the Model Y. They are ramping up at Fremont and Shanghai, building out their Giga Texas factory and building out Giga Berlin to bring this vehicle to many more customers by next year. The latest timeline from Tesla regarding Giga Texas is production and deliveries beginning late this year, and Sawyer Merritt said in a tweet that their internal goal for Giga Texas Model Y production remains for October. More about Giga Berlin in a minute. Real quick, I'd like to thank today's sponsor, SetApp. SetApp gives you an all-access pass to curated Mac and iOS apps. You get access to 210 plus apps with SetApp, and their collection includes tools for every task you could need them for, and it's incredibly easy to use, installing and uninstalling apps with one click. Imagine that you want to work on your finances. Check out MoneyWiz. If you want to be more organized at work, check out Sheet Planner. There are millions of apps and services available on the market, and hundreds of options for every task you could need, so it can be tough to choose, especially when some can be very expensive. With SetApp, no matter what you're doing on your Mac, like getting better at task management or speeding up your education process, SetApp has the right app for the job. They're all top-notch, high-quality paid apps, but you get access to all of them for as little as $9.99 per month. They find the best apps for the task so you can focus on the work. If you want access to high-quality, curated apps, check it out and try SetApp free for 7 days by clicking the link in the description below. Over at Giga Berlin, Tesla is working on their Model Y production line for the European market, and some new photos show things coming along quickly as well. We can see them continuing to install production equipment and getting robots in order on the production line. There is still a lot to be done for true production to begin, but Tesla managed to break ground at Giga Shanghai and produce Model 3s there in about a year. This time, they're looking to do the same with the Model Y at both Giga Texas and Berlin. Next up, a small feature that could be coming soon to Tesla is a limit to Bluetooth capabilities, but in a good way. When asked if Tesla could make it so that phones only connect to Bluetooth when detected to be in the car, Elon said, "True, we somewhat overcompensated on Bluetooth antenna capability, haha. We'll work on turning it down near your destination." I actually experience this every day. Anytime my wife or I get in the car or one of us opens the door, our phones will automatically connect to Bluetooth, and that call gets interrupted or anything with audio. It's great that the Bluetooth system connects so quickly when I want it to, but it's almost too good so that I can be in my house and my phone connects because my wife got in the car. That might be a nice change to see soon, where perhaps the phone only connects when someone is detected in the driver's seat or something similar. Now, the biggest story for Tesla right now is the relaunch of the Model S and Model X. Tesla held their Plaid delivery event on June 10th, and they delivered to 25 different customers. I was able to check one out and do a full review, which was very fun, and you can check out that full video linked up here or in the description below. Overall, the new design and interior is fantastic. On top of the wild performance specs of the Plaid model is the Plaid badge. It's one cool feature that was unveiled at Tesla's delivery event, and this badge came with every Plaid Model S they delivered so far. car. If you don't already know, this is a direct Spaceballs reference, and Tesla is going all in with what Plaid really means. Now, more Plaid Model S's have been spotted on delivery vehicles, and it appears that the Plaid badge we saw at the event was a special edition emblem for those initial customer deliveries. The Plaid models headed to customers will be a normal Plaid badge, as we've seen in prototypes for a while now. We'll get final confirmation of this when more customers take delivery, but for now it appears that this is the case. Likely we'll see this original special edition Plaid badge become available online from third parties. The biggest change for the Model S and X though comes with the Yoke steering wheel, and it's wildly controversial now that it's out. I used the Yoke for a little bit, and overall the elimination of the stocks makes sense. The buttons on the wheel are really easy to use and very versatile and intuitive, but turning sharply is where it can get awkward, leading to many different videos and articles talking about just how weird it is to use. In my experience, yes, it will definitely take some getting used to, but on most turns it makes a lot of sense. U-turns are the thing you'll have to relearn, but this Yoke wheel has brought back up the question of whether or not Tesla will eventually ship the Model S and X with a round wheel like we've seen in testing. This wheel has all the same functionality and buttons of the Yoke with stocks removed, but it is round for people who want more normalcy in the car. A render was even found on Tesla's website, so it is something they can easily implement if they decide to. I think that once initial deliveries of the Model S are completed and production is underway and scaling, they should add the option to configure your Model S or X with either the Yoke or round steering wheel. On the official order breakdowns for customers, it specifically mentions the Yoke as an option, so I think it's very possible that this is what Tesla is planning to do. It would be the smartest move in my opinion, since customers who like the change to the Yoke can have it, and those who are adamantly against it aren't forced to use it or get a different car. The Yoke does add a lot of visibility to the instrument cluster display, but it comes with some drawbacks when turning sharp. Tesla was originally rumored to be working on a new steer-by-wire technology for the Model S and X that could have helped contribute to a smaller turning rotation required by the Yoke, but that never came with this car. Currently, you still have to turn the wheel a lot for a U-turn, just the same as before. Regarding this new Model S refresh, it was a little disappointing to hear that right at its launch, the top range of the long-range Model S was dropped from 412 miles to 405 miles. However, it looks like Tesla may have gone with a slightly smaller battery pack than before, because the efficiency of the Model S has actually gone up. The EPA now shows the 2021 Model S long range at 120 miles per gallon electric equivalent, getting 124 city and 115 highway. It uses 28 kilowatt hours per 100 miles, as opposed to the 2020 Model S, which used 29 kilowatt hours per 100 miles. It's a small improvement, but it's always great to see Tesla not just improving range with battery pack size, but with efficiency, even though 405 is lower than the previous 412. We'll hopefully get more details on pack size in the future to see if that is truly a factor here. Elon Musk divulged some detailed information about the Model S Plaid motor at Tesla's delivery event. The engineering of that motor is what allows it to get its insane specs, and Elon elaborated on this further in a series of tweets. He said, quote, "Fiber is wound over rotor at high tension load. Machine to do this was made by Tesla Automation. Carbon sleeve must put copper rotor in compression or it loosens at low temp due to differential thermal expansion. Preload is also helpful for maintaining precise gap to stator. Main advantage of this is a much stronger EM field compared with a rotor that is held together by metal, usually a high-strength steel. Other advantage is that rotor can go to higher RPM as carbon sleeve mostly stops copper rotor from expanding due to radial acceleration." These tweets show some details about what Tesla is working on, but also point to how much Elon Musk knows about every aspect of the product. This is pretty rare for a CEO, and he gave a little teaser of what they plan to do with the Roadster motor as well. When asked for more details about how they do it, he said the Plaid carbon-wrapped motor is arguably the most advanced motor on Earth, outside of maybe a lab somewhere. We have to keep some secrets. We have a few ideas for increasing torque and max RPM even further for new Roadster. Definitely fun and exciting engineering ahead. The performance specs of the Roadster are still better than the Plaid Model S, but not by a ton, especially given the price difference for the two. For the Roadster to truly be appealing though, I think the 0 to 60 may need to be more impressive than 0.09 seconds faster than the Plaid Model S, and that's why Elon Musk wants to do the SpaceX package to get it to 1.1 seconds. Last up, some rumors about a range of Tesla products, including the Cybertruck. Sawyer Merritt, who has been known as a reliable source, gave some new information in a series of tweets. First, as I mentioned earlier, he said that, quote, based on internal goals, which could change by the way, Giga Texas Model Y production is slated to begin around October. Over at Giga New York, Tesla supercharger production is reportedly increasing, and they have moved to a prefabricated modular design to decrease cost and installation time/complexity. Regarding the Model S, quote, the refreshed Model S long range will have Insane Mode, which is a notch below Ludicrous Mode. Ludicrous Mode was the previous fastest performance mode in the Performance Model S that has now been replaced by Plaid. So it looks like Insane Mode will come to the normal long-range Model S and just be a little bit slower than Ludicrous Mode was. For the Semi, quote, last I heard a couple weeks ago, Semi development was moving along at impressive speed despite Jerome's departure. And that is referring to the exit of Tesla's head of heavy trucking, Jerome Gillen, announced last week. For the Cybertruck, quote, Cybertruck production is slated to begin in around November, but things are very fluid, so don't hold your breath. Things can and probably will change. Giga Texas progress is good though. Finally, I heard there are 4 completed Cybertrucks roaming the country. I don't know if these Cybertrucks are any different from what we've already seen. Elon has mentioned multiple times that the final design of the Cybertruck will be different. However, these Cybertrucks that they are testing may look exactly the same on the exterior for the time being. That's all the latest Tesla news for today, and in the meantime, if you want to check out my full review of the Plaid Model S, you can check out that video linked over here or in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.